Hey everybody, it's Kylie and welcome back to my channel. So today I have a crochet tutorial for y'all. I'm going to show y'all how to make this double-sided scrubby washcloth. So one side of it is made with this scrubby yarn and the other side is this soft cotton yarn that I've made a ribbed kind of texture. And I have joined them together to make a double-sided washcloth. So you have one side that's nice for washing, that's soft, and the other side that would be nice for like exfoliating. Now personally, I think these are a very versatile type of washcloth. I think they could be used for both dishes and your body. So if you want to make these to do dishes with, that's great. But if you also want to make some that you can use for your face or your body, I think that works too. This side I could see it being a very good for exfoliating and stuff because it's that scrubby, but yet it's not too rough. I don't think that it would hurt your skin. But anyway, they are very quick and easy to make, and I'm going to show you what yarn I used to make them. So I'm fixing to make another one in these colors, and I love this cotton for the cotton yarn, and then for the scrubby side, I'm using this Yarn Bee Scrubology cotton, and this is the same brand over here. And these colors they used in the blue, I love this cotton was Stonewash, and the scrubby yarn was Harmonious. And then I'm fixing to do one in these kind of reddish pink colors. The cotton color is called Rosy 2. And the Scrubology cotton is Prairie Harvest. And I think those go together really pretty. So any worsted weight cotton yarn will work. This is just the one I'm choosing to use. And then finding a worsted weight scrubby yarn will work. And I'm also using an I or 5.5 millimeter crochet hook. But that's all you'll need to make these washcloths, and we're going to go ahead and jump right into the pattern. Okay, so I'm going to start with making the cotton side of the washcloth. So I have my cotton yarn here, and I have made a slip knot and placed it on my hook. And to start, we're going to start by chaining 26 stitches. And I do want to mention that you can make these as wide as you want to. So by chaining 26 stitches, my washcloth is approximately 6 1/4 inches wide. If you want a larger washcloth, you can just chain more. If you want a smaller one, chain less. So it's really easy to adjust the size. But anyway, I'm just going to chain 26 stitches. Okay, so once you've chained 26 stitches, you're then going to start in the second stitch from your hook, single crochet, and work a single crochet in each stitch down. So that second stitch from our hook, we're going to work a single crochet, and then we're just going to work a single crochet in each chain stitch down. Okay, so that is what it'll look like after row 1. If you started with 26 chain stitches, you should have 25 stitches in total at the end of row 1. Now going on to row 2, and we're going to start with the stitch that gives us this ribbed texture. We're going to chain 1, turn our work, and we're going to work a back loop single crochet in each stitch across. So this right here is our chain stitch. So this is our very first stitch, and I'm going to grab my yarn needle here and show y'all what I mean by back loop. So typically when you work a normal crochet stitch, you place your hook under both loops. So you see this V, you have a front loop and you have a back loop. And normally when you work a crochet stitch, you'll place your hook under both stitches, the front loop and the back loop. But to form a back loop single crochet, and that's what gives us its texture, is we're just going to place our hook under the back loop stitch only. So you're going to bypass this front loop and just go under the back loop in each stitch, work a single crochet as normal. So I'm going to put my hook back on. So this is our chain stitch. So starting that first stitch, we're going to work in that back loop only and work a single crochet like normal. And we're just going to repeat that all the way across. And that will give us this ribbed texture of our washcloth. So back loop. And you're just going to repeat that all the way across. And this is what it looked like at the end of row 2. You can see how we have that little bit of ridge. So going on row 3 and on, you're just going to repeat row 2. You're just going to chain 1, turn, and work a back loop single crochet in each stitch across. And you're going to repeat that until you completed 26 rows. So I'm going to go ahead and start row 3 with y'all. We're going to chain 1, turn our work, we're going to back loop, single crochet in each stitch across on that back loop. And at the end of each row, you should have the exact same number of stitches as the previous row. So in my case, I should have 25 stitches as you're not increasing or decreasing. So I'm going to go ahead and work until I finish row 26. And after I finish row 26, I'll meet up with y'all then. Okay, so this is what it'll look like after row 26. Now I'm not going to cut my yarn. I'm going to go ahead and just pull up a loop like so. And we're going to set this to the side because I'm going to use this color to attach the other scrubby side and single crochet around the edge after we make the other piece. So that piece is basically finished. We're just going to set it over there. And then we're going to take our other scrubby yarn and work with it. Okay, so I just made a slip knot with the scrubby yarn and placed it on my crochet hook. And essentially we're going to do the same thing that we done for this first half of the washcloth with the scrubby yarn. We're just going to change it a little bit different because since the scrubby yarn tends to crochet up a little bit thicker than the regular cotton yarn, you don't have to chain quite as many to start with. So for the first piece with the cotton yarn, we chained at 26. I found with the scrubby yarn, I only had to chain 22 to get to the same width as the cotton yarn. So I'm going to start by chaining 22. And there is 22 stitches, and you can play with it if you need to chain an extra one or a couple less to make it the same width as this one. You just want to make sure that this is the same width as this piece. So to go on, I am now going to go into the second chain stitch from my hook and work a single crochet stitch in it and a single crochet in each chain stitch down. And you just have to really work with this yarn because it is a little bit harder to see and work with. So I'm just going to find my next stitch and work a single crochet and single crochet all the way down. Okay, so there's what it looks like at the end of row 1, and you can go ahead and take it and you can measure it and see how it measures against this one, and you can see how even though it's a couple stitches shorter than the cotton yarn, it is the exact same width, so that will work. If you have to adjust that starting chain, you can. You just want the same width as that. And I also found in working that I only had to work 20 rows as opposed to 26 to make it the same height. So we're basically going to do the same thing on this one that we done for the first piece. Is we're going to chain 1, turn, and we're going to back loop single crochet in each stitch across. Now if you have a hard time finding just the back loop with this scrubby yarn, you could just work a regular single crochet and that would be totally fine. But I did do back loop single crochet, so I'm going to chain 1, I'm going to turn, and I can see both loops of my stitches, so I'm just going to work in that back loop, and I'm going to go ahead and work until I finish 20 rows for this piece, and I'll meet back up with y'all when this piece is as tall as this piece. Okay, so I just finished 20 rows on this piece, and it should be pretty much the same size as the first piece we made. And it pretty much is. So we're going to take this piece. I already cut the end on this one because we won't need it no more. And remember, we didn't cut the end on this other piece. So we are going to take them and line them up basically on top of each other. And we're just going to single crochet them together. So I am going to go ahead and put my hook back on this piece here. And I'm just going to, I've lined that one up. I'm going to tuck this tail in between them. And I am just going to line it up like so. And we are just going to start single crocheting them together. So I'm just going to find a spot. Make sure I go through both pieces. And just work one single crochet. You're evenly going to single crochet down the sides. Single crocheting them together. And you'll place 2 single crochet in the corners when you turn the corner to help round it. And we're just evenly going to go down the side here. Picking spots along the way to join them. Like so. So I'm going to go ahead and work down this edge, and I'll be back with you when I get down to this corner and show y'all how I go around the corners. Okay, so I worked all the way down to this corner, and now I'm going to just work 2 single crochet in this corner. So we're just going to find the corner and insert our hook on both pieces. and we'll just make 2 single crochets in the same spot there. So then it'll just kind of round our corner, and then we're just going to keep going, single crocheting both pieces together. So I'm just going to keep single crocheting both pieces together and work all the way around here till I get back to this very last corner, and I'll meet up with y'all when I reach this last corner. Okay, so I made it all the way back around to this very last corner. This very last corner, we're going to work 2 single crochet into, going through both pieces, and then we'll just turn here and we will slip stitch into that very first single crochet, and then you can cut your yarn and weave in your ends and you will be finished. And that's how easy it is to crochet these double-sided scrubby washcloths. I hope y'all found this tutorial helpful. If you did, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not already, and check out my channel for other crochet tutorials, and happy crocheting.